You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Stand up, sit down, featuring in-depth discussion and interviews with stand-up comedians on the art of stand-up comedy. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, stand up, sit down.
I'm back at it, baby. I'm back at it. And then it's my birthday weekend, so you know I'm extra foolish, boy. Yeah, all right. It's your boy Ashford Thomas. You're back for another episode of BHL Stand Up and Sit On Down. All right, tonight we got a little short show, but we got to knock it out real quick for my man, Mr. Melvin Jackson Jr. We're going to get on into it, baby. Speak on it, baby. Say what's up, baby.
Man, what's going on, people? Thank y'all for having me.
Yo, man. Thank you for being with us, man. Definitely, man. We just having a little... clappage, more clappage for my man. We were just having a little conversation out there earlier, man. This man is a comedian, but not only that, he's taking control of his career by being a writer and a producer and all that good stuff, man. Tell the people how you're doing it and taking the hand with your career and not just being one of those people going to audition and waiting on the manager and the agent to call you.
Well, I felt that I needed to have a creative standpoint in this business and not just be in this business, but also be a business. Mm-hmm. I started out just, wanting to be a businessman, so I had to have my business in order to be all these things that I'm doing, the acting, the writing, the producing, the comedian. Mm-hmm. And so it's just I'm able to elevate my stature to another level by adding certain things like writing and being able to have control over certain products that I put out.
Definitely. And tell the people where they'll know you from, because you were doing the behind the scenes and the management and all that stuff way before you even stepped into acting. Right. So go ahead and tell the people what you were doing before you were seen on Everybody Hates Chris, In the Wire. I'm scared right now. I'm shook, baby. I'm shook.
Well, I started out managing artists when I was about 18, 19, started managing artists in the music business. And was able to meet a lot of people in the business and just see what I could do for others. So I took that and applied it to my own career, mm-hmm. and I was able to go even further because I can push myself further than I can push one person. Mm. So it took me a while to be like, okay, well, I'm not making a lot of money from being a manager, so let me go in and put some time into myself and let me make some money for myself, and that's what I did. And then I was able to be on the show The Wire and Everybody Hates Chris, and it just went from there. Just knowing what I wanted to do. I never thought I wanted to be an actor, but when I started doing it, I fell in love with it. I'm like, this is what I could do. Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm. And the check came, and you were like, okay, held it up. Said,
I like this. I like this. No more ramen noodles right now.
Exactly.
I'm getting steak and lobster tonight.
Definitely, man. So how was it? So were you doing any acting before you just hit up auditions, or were you taking classes?
No, I was actually doing some modeling here and there, and this agency I was with had me audition for PSA, which is like a public service announcement, and I didn't really have any acting experience. It was just God gifted, and I went in there and I booked it. And when I did it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm pretty good. Yeah. So I just really started taking it serious. So when I watch movies, I actually didn't watch it just for entertainment. I actually watched it for the learning of the acting technique. Mm. So I would watch like a Denzel, a Samuel Jackson, and try to implement my own style in the midst of their styles. And just wanted to be better. So I just try to work at certain things and looked up certain ways to be a better actor. Didn't really take any acting classes. Until later on in my career, like recently, I started working with an acting coach and now acting classes. But before then, it was just
raw talent.
So, but that can only take you but so far until you have to go in there and really perfect your craft. I feel like if Denzel still has an acting coach or still goes to classes, why should I be any different? He's an Oscar winning actor, so I have to take it real serious and just sharpen my tools. Just like Kobe's in the gym all the time, Jordan was in the gym, the greats in the gym. They in the gym. They put in that work, so I got to put in work.
The wife's not in there, but they go get the M's though.
Right.
Unfortunately, hopefully. Right. Said it had to be him. But definitely, man. So tell us your upbringing and everything, coming from D.C.
Right.
Let the people know, where you from? Southeast? Northwest?
Northwest, baby.
Hey, HU! That's why I'm a HU alum, so definitely I know a lot about the Northwest of D.C., man. Tell her how it was coming up in D.C.,
I love D.C. D.C. is my home, my first home. I grew up in D.C., was born and raised, and then I moved to Maryland. And then when I was 8 years old, I moved overseas. So I was able to live overseas for the majority of my childhood from 8 to 14, 15. Then I moved back to Maryland, and I went to high school and college. And just always DC is my home. You know, DC is where I know, and I'm out here carrying DC on my back and just representing, just trying to do the best that I can to represent my city and bring a championship home.
I see. Wait, I see you young. I see you young. Definitely, man. Definitely. Do you believe having that experience, that being able to travel, has definitely exposed your view on type of things instead of, you're not, because I mean, you're from DC, but you're not just a DC cat.
Right.
The way you view things is definitely a blessing that I've realized, everyone doesn't have that privilege to have. And Steph's definitely getting some stamps on the passport.
Exactly.
Everybody doesn't get
Right. Yeah, it's a blessing. I got a chance to see how other people, lived. And, some people, like I said, rappers can rap about going to different countries. I'm like, well, I lived there. What? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? I lived in Pakistan and Turkey and saw all the rules and the projects. We think we got projects. They got projects.
No, they got the slums.
They got the project. You washing clothes and drinking out the same water. It's like, you ain't gangster. They gangster over there.
Gangster.
So it was just a blessing to see how privileged we are as Americans. They like, we want to go to America. And we're complaining about certain things that go on in America. And I'm like, these people really live rough. We have it great.
Yeah.
So it just really helped me as a kid and realized how privileged I was and not to be spoiled. Like, my parents took care of me. They pretty much gave me whatever I wanted, but they still made me work hard for it. I didn't just get a silver spoon or just like, here you go. It's like, what you gonna do for it? What you gonna work? So it was a blessing just to see that and now take that and transfer it into my kids and say, listen, life ain't always gonna be easy, but you gotta keep pushing and pushing until you get to where you want to get to.
Definitely, and especially being in the entertainment business, it's gotta be a lot of blows, gonna be a lot of setbacks. Anything you want to speak on specifically? What has been the biggest trial or tribulation that you've realized trying to do things and putting on your back yourself? What do you run across as being a?
I mean, just trying to get in the door to auditions, getting the opportunities to be in projects. You see all these major projects, like, oh my God, I would have been great in those. And those projects that I've been able to audition for, I didn't get those roles, and I don't feel salty anymore. I used to, in the beginning of my career, be like, oh man, I didn't get that, I'm mad. But if you think like that, then you'll kind of hold yourself back. But it's like, okay, what can I do to elevate who I am so that they will want to put me in these projects because they're like, okay, now he's a big enough name, or okay, people are putting attention on him. Maybe we should give him an opportunity. So I had to start building my brand and keeping it out there so people see, like, dang, dude, Melvin's doing everything. He's a comedian now. People that know me for years just now still haven't realized that I'm a comedian as well. And they're like, oh man, I didn't know he was doing comedy. And yeah, I've been doing it about 3 years and loving it.
Hustling.
So you just have to reinvent yourself sometimes, and you have to make people want to be in the business of you. So I have to make people want to be in Melvin Jackson Jr. business. Just like they wanted to be in Kevin Hart business.
Yeah.
I want the same thing because we all have our own brand and we all can take it to a whole nother level. It's up to us.
I'm glad you addressed that, man, really with the auditions, man, because people don't understand it's levels to this. Like, because I have people back home and be like, oh, Red Tails came out, man. How come you ain't auditioned for that? I'm like, it's levels to this. Everybody, you got to be at a certain level sometimes just to go into the room with certain people. And a lot of people don't understand that. And what you're doing is a great thing by building up your notoriety and building up your name and your clout and everything. So therefore, when they step in, it's like, oh, Melvin here, y'all.
and it's so crazy. Like, I was looking at something today. Like, agents, they'll send you. They can send you sometimes a list of things they submit you for. So I was looking through this list that my agent had, and she was showing me all the stuff that she submitted me for. And I'm like, wow, like this is a lot of stuff that they submit you for that you don't even get a chance to go in for. Like, so out of maybe 100 things they submit you for, you may get an audition for 1 or 2 of those things if you're lucky. So it's just a blessing to when you're able to go in that door and represent who you are. So you gotta own it. Every time you walk in that room, you better own that room. That's maybe your last opportunity.
You're very, very
truthful.
truthful.
I look at projects like I got a chance to audition for NWA, the James Brown movie, like the audition for Biggie, like all these different movies I've been able to audition for. And regardless of whether I got the part or not, it was still, the opportunity was great to have. Yeah. Because some people don't even get in the door.
Get in the room. Never heard of. Sitting outside, like, yo.
You may be considered for another project after that. Like, oh man, I like how he did that. I got another project that I might call him back in for that he may be great for. So you just never know. You just got to take, audition is an audition. That's your chance to shine. Yeah. It is. That's what it's called, an audition.
And,
so.
and that, not on that project, they could bring you on another project very easily.
I've seen it happen, so that's.
Definitely, man. Let's get into this comedy world right here, man. This comedy world. This comedy. Hold up. Yeah, let's get into this comedy world, man. What do you usually talk about in your stand-up, man? Well, hold up. First and foremost, tell us your first place you went up on stage.
My first place I went up on stage was Show Place, which is in Sherman Oaks, right on Ventura. And it was like an open mic situation. And I was scared. I wanted to do stand-up for so long because I have a lot of friends who are comedians, like Alex Thomas, Michael Collier. Those are all like mentors to me in the comedy game.
Both those guys have been here too, man.
Yeah,
Good people.
Bill Bellamy, all those guys. It just, and I always wanted to do it, just watching Eddie Murphy. And my first time going to do a comedy, I almost didn't do it because I was sitting there and my heart was beating out my chest. And I was like, oh, they called me. I'm about to run out this door. And then they called me up. And I went up there and did about 9 minutes, man, which is, in the comedy world, that's a lot.
That's good, man. That's a long time.
Your first time. And I just went through a divorce, so I was just wanted to go to a venting period where it was like I know things that I didn't do right. And so I got up there and I talked about things that happened in my life. And I think that helps. That's what comedians do. We go up there and we talk about things that happen in our life. And it's therapy, free therapy.
Yeah.
People pay you for it. You're like, oh, I'm getting paid to tell my problems?
Yeah.
I love it. So it was just definitely when I got on stage, I felt like home. I was like, yeah, I love being on stage. So doing comedy was something new for me, and I had to start over in a sense of doing something new. Where acting, I already established myself. Comedy, I hadn't. So it's like The Wire, everybody's credits don't matter when you're on stage. Are you funny?
Yeah.
So you like pressure. You may hear crickets. As long as you don't hear boos, you're all right.
You're
you hear
good.
boos, you get a tomato thrown at you. Like, okay, all right. Yeah.
Like, where did you get that tomato, brother?
What?
Damn.
Right. But it gives you a tough skin. If you're a comedian, you gotta have tough skin. You can't be on there getting your feelings. And you just gotta go up there and do you.
And it's a different muscle.
Oh yeah.
Completely different muscle than, you're taking different takes and all that stuff. No, to build a story and to build an environment that someone that you've never met before, ever seen before, they don't know your back history, and you telling something that makes them laugh, it's a magical thing, man.
Yeah.
Very difficult thing to do as well. Definitely. So, being difficult, you want to talk about your worst show you ever had? Those, people coming at you in the audience, anything?
One of my worst show I've had was at Maverick Flax because I have a wide range of audience, and it's not a white or a black audience. Sometimes it's mixed, but majority it can be Caucasian audience. So some jokes don't always work when it comes to predominantly black audience. So
Very true.
You go to Crenshaw, you got to tell some different types of jokes.
It gotta switch up just a little bit.
You gotta be like, man, they want to know about some, you talking about some situations that they can relate to. So it was different for me, and I'm like, and I was opening up for Michael Collier too, so I really felt bad, like, man, I let you down, brother. Cause he was like, what happened? I was like, I don't know. They was laughing at the Comedy Store, they ain't laughing tonight. so that taught me to learn my audience. Different things, you gotta switch it up. If you see your audience is feeling certain things, then you don't necessarily change your style, but change your approach. So you may have to just have conversations with them if you feel like they're not gonna really feel what you're saying. You got to talk to them, and that's what sometimes you got to do. Just talk to them. You're like, oh, he's talking to me.
Yeah.
And you just say stuff they can relate to.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you addressed that as well, man, because a lot of people over there come on here and just like, comedy is comedy. I'm like, nah, not exactly. Certain rooms can go different ways. This same joke can probably kill in one room, and another room it'll be like, wait a minute, we don't know what that is at all. We don't know what that is. So does that affect your writing and all that stuff? So when you go in, you like, oh, this is a predominantly such and such audience. I'm gonna do this joke, and this is a predominantly such and such audience. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit.
See, my stuff is universal. I try to have stuff that's universal that everyone can relate to, and if they can't relate to it, they just can't relate to it. But I tell stuff that I'm going through, so it's kind of like about me. So it really doesn't have nothing to do with you. If you can relate to it, great. If you can't, it ain't for you. This is just me telling you my story, and you're listening.
Definitely.
So a comedian told me, he said, I noticed that you went up there and you had a great, pretty much a perfect set. He said, but don't worry about trying to always get the laughs. And I'm like, what? That's what I'm in here for. Like, don't always try to go and get the laughs. Just do your set. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I didn't understand that. But it's like sometimes when you focus on, I got to be funny. I got to go up there and make them laugh. I just go up there and tell stories. I tell situations. You give the punchline. You let it marinate. If they laugh, cool. I always tell, like, listen, it's okay. You don't have to laugh. I know I'm funny, so you're not gonna kill my pride. You're not gonna crumble my spirits.
Yeah.
So, and you just use certain things to get people to pull them in.
Definitely.
And you just have to know. Just know who you are as a comedian, who you are as a person.
And that's a great line to live by, man. Because sometimes people come out and doing stand on myself, if that one joke you knew was gonna hit and it doesn't hit, you kind of like, oh, wait a minute, what I do?
That's my time. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice knowing you.
Definitely, man. So, who's been the biggest influence to you on the stand-up stage?
On the stand-up stage, like Ron G, he's
definitely doing his thing.
Helps me out here and there. Definitely Bill Bellamy, Alex Thomas, Michael Collier, like a lot of guys I just look up to, man. That's just been doing it for a long time, and I'm like, wow, And I just saw like Kevin Hart, his rise, and how humble he still is. So that's always a motivation.
Because he's been at it for a minute.
Yeah, and like definitely, man. Come on, Eddie Murphy is like the legend. It was Richard Pryor and him, and of course others before them. But those are the two that I like. Man, like those guys know how to tell a story and make it work.
Yeah.
And my thing is learning now is trying to, I'm doing impressions, but I haven't really done a lot of impressions on stage, and I'm trying to fit that into my stand up in a way. I'm trying to figure it out. So you're always trying to figure out when you add new stuff to it, you're trying to figure out how can it work. Is it gonna make sense? Is it not gonna, like if you're doing a longer set, then it probably makes sense that you can add loads of things in there. But if you're doing a 5-10 minute set, does that really help?
Yeah.
Does that help what you're doing? So I'm just trying to work that in some kind of way, because that was always the big things that they used to do. That a lot of comedians don't really do that often as much, but when you can do it, that takes you to a whole other level. Like I like Aaron Spears and how he's able to do those different impressions.
He would kill it.
Yeah, so I'm just working on it. I got my DMX on, do my little stuff. So just trying to just keep it moving.
Yeah, if I had to choose, tell me this: what would you have to do? What would you choose as your favorite stand up, like all around? Like me, I would have to say, you go ahead first. I don't want to say mine. It might be yours. If you just had to choose one set, like a TV special, that we all grew up
Delirious.
Like, Delirious? Was yours? Definitely, man. That's one of my top 3. My favorite is You So Crazy.
Right. Yeah, but you know what's crazy? It was Raw before I saw Delirious, and I saw Delirious. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, You So Crazy was cool. Yeah, I like Martin. Yeah, he was. And man, it's so many different specials. Like I like Gabriel Iglesias. Like everybody's just different, man. When they bring different flavors to the thing, you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's pressure.
It is pressure. And you're very correct when you bring it to yourself and you bring what you have to bring to the table. Because like I'll laugh just as hard as Kevin Hart as I will at Louis C.K. And these guys are completely different.
Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely different experiences and all that stuff. So definitely, man, let's talk about this film business, bruh. This film production, man. Tell the people what you're writing on, what you're working on, and all that good stuff, man. Trying to bring light and new visions and everything.
Well, I just I shot my sitcom called This Is My Life, So Why Are You Laughing? I shot it last year, put it out. It's on the web right now. Just getting a lot of good feedback. And it's pretty much a take on my life. It's like Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Real Husbands of Hollywood, where I'm playing myself, and I'm just trying to get the people to know who I am. I'm building my brand within the brand. So I'm making fun of my situations in life, but also allowing people to think like, man, like I went to that. I dated a girl like that, or I went to a situation like that.
We all been there, brother.
Yeah. So that's one of the projects, and I'm also my next project I'm planning to direct is called Sex Lies and the Things Women Go Through, which is a woman-based project, and it's about women that have gone through certain situations. And I'm just trying to enlighten women to know they have a support system. And in this film, they build a support system. 5 women go through a group therapy session, and they talk about their problems, and they help each other through their problems. And I just wanted to do this film because I think that women always go through certain situations, but they don't always get through them. Mm-hmm. So this is just something that's showing you like this is maybe what you went through. This is how you can get through it. By building a sisterhood.
Now, when you're writing and you're creating, do you think of certain things like, hey, I need to have this character be casted as this, or I might need to talk about this because it's more marketable? Or do you just go in there and put the pen to paper and say whatever comes out, comes out?
Right. Whatever comes out, comes out. I don't always look at it as a standpoint of, oh, this is going to be this or be that. It's just, it is what it is. Sometimes things come to my head and I'm like, wow, how did I think of this? And when I'm writing, I'm like, wow, I have this character doing this. It's just how you write sometimes. I never considered myself a writer until I really started writing and getting into what it is. Like there's people that will write and knock it out like that. I'm not a writer for it. Like if you say, here's the money, I want you to write something, it's very hard for me to be like, okay, I have to be passionate about what I'm doing, or if it's for something a story that I want to write, then I may sit and write it, but that's just not my end. That's not who I am to say, oh, come on, we want you to write this Oscar-worthy film. I don't work like that. And when it comes to, that's not the writer I am. I'll write if I have to, but I prefer a writer write and I prefer me to produce and act and direct and whatever, all the other stuff. I'm more of the guy pushing things forward.
Make it happen.
Sitting there and writing, that's time consuming. That's me sitting in a cave writing, but I like to be out there making deals happen.
Definitely. That's definitely one of the most tedious things that people don't understand, man. When you're writing, to this day, I tell people all the time, like, yo, I've never had so much self-discipline to sitting in the room saying, yo, I can't talk to you right now. I got to focus on this. And definitely, man. So, man, you just featured in a newspaper, man. Tell people what's going on with it.
Yeah, man. Big thank you to this LA Sentinel and Yvette Bailey for giving me so much love and put me in the newspaper, man. Right above my man Will Smith.
Right above Big Willie.
So it's definitely letting you know dreams come true, man. And in this, I'm talking about my life. I'm talking about certain things that's happened to me. Like, I'm keep it candid. In April, I lost my father till he committed suicide.
Sorry to hear that, man.
And it was one of those things. It's like, I would have never thought that my pops would have done that.
Yeah.
And I always worked so hard to be in this business and make financial gain so I can be able to take care of my parents so they don't have to worry about the stress of life and finances. And I wasn't able to do that for him, unfortunately. And I feel like I have an obligation now to make awareness of depression and mental illness that people have, and even in the African American community that we don't talk about.
We don't, man.
So after that, I was like, how do I get up stage and be funny again when I lost someone who was dear to me, And I just had to push through it. And Ron G told me, it's like, man, you got to use that as your force to keep moving forward. And I was like, man, so for a while I didn't do stand up. I was like, I didn't have the love for it. Yeah. But when I got back on stage, and I'm like, okay, now I'm bringing laughter to people. So I'm actually helping people who maybe had a bad day. I'm making them laugh. So my pain is their laughter. Yeah. Like you said, laugh at my pain. Yeah. But it's always a beautiful thing when you're able to turn a frown into a smile. Yeah. And turn someone's day by making them laugh. Laughter is therapy. Laughter is healing. So I took my pain and I was able to help other people. So even though I may have lost my father, he's still with me. But I don't want anybody else to lose anybody else by not taking the situation serious. So when someone's going through depression, call them up. Hey, you good? Let's go out. Let's hang out. Don't leave them idle and by themselves. Yeah. Because then that's when things start going through their mind. You're like, oh my goodness, because we all probably have suicidal thoughts, or been depressed. So it's kind of like, who's exempt from it? Nobody. Mm-hmm.
And we all been through things. It's all about how we handle them and how we look at them, man. It's pretty much what comedy is. It's just a different way of looking at all day life, man. Yeah. So definitely, man. So you got that going, man. You want to talk anything about the love life, how it is to manage your business and everything in the love life as well?
Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful thing. I have a great woman. She's in the business as well, and it was one of those things that always want to know, how can you balance your career and love life, and then I have kids too. So it's three things I have to balance, but I'm able to balance well because they all mean so much to me. Of course, my kids, my woman, and the business. Like you have to have a balance. You can't put the business before your kids and your woman. That's just
family. Yeah.
So I said I wouldn't do that. So I had never want to compromise my kids' life and the life I have with my lady for the business. We put the business to the side when we have, when it's just be us, is us. But you have to be focused. You have to know what you want. And I think that when you have someone who's like-minded, and she's a force to be reckoned with too. So I think there will be we're definitely going to be a power couple. And I look at Will and Jada. I look at other couples who are able to withstand certain things and able to work together and make it work. Yeah. And I think when you have someone that will make it work and you put God in it, man, you can't go wrong. Definitely. So you just you got to keep it fresh, and you got to keep things going in the right direction and not let it all be about the business, because the business is going to be here.
It's going to be there.
So it's definitely, you have to know how to balance it.
Yeah, and the business is always changing. You need somebody that's a basis that stays consistent, man.
Exactly.
Definitely, which is, finding something. You found her out, y'all met out here, right?
Yeah.
So, which is a very, very difficult thing to do. A lot of people don't know that. LA is, especially being an East Coast cat, man, a whole nother world. But definitely, man, we got to get out of here soon. But let the people know what you got coming out, and also words of wisdom to that young cat out there sitting up in D.C. Northwest, chilling on Georgia Ave, thinking like, dang, if I had that opportunity, I'd make it happen.
Well, I'm in the play right now called Love So Deep. It's going to be at the Acme Theater the 20th to the 22nd, so make sure you go and get your tickets. Acme Comedy Theater. I'm in a sketch comedy show called TMI. It's coming out. I'm making my debut this Sunday at Second City. man, just stay positive. Anybody out there that's trying to do this business, keep pushing forward. Never stop. Never give your dreams, because dreams do come true. Look at me. You know, I'm a kid from D.C. that been around the world, living out his dreams, been on TV, and I'm still not where I want to be at, but I'm getting there. And you know, I'm like, look at this. I'm on a paper like this. It gets no better than this.
Major, baby.
Like, it's really real.
Yeah, you say major, bigger Willie.
And I get to, you know, open up, on shows and do what I love to do. So
Definitely.
MelvinJacksonJr.com. Check me out.
Yeah, tell them where you find. Tell them the Twitter handle and all the Instagram, baby.
Melvin Jackson Jr. Everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. MelvinJacksonJr.com. Check me out.
Definitely. And you know me, Ashford J. Thomas, man. You know where to find me online on Instagram and Twitter at AshfordJT. Remember to follow me on HowTonU, HOWTONU, and also www.HONTONU.com. HowTonU, the fellowship giving HBCU students the opportunity to work on actual television production. Can't do it without your help. The Indiegogo is up, so go to Indiegogo and check it out. HowTonU Project. And definitely another episode. It's my Friday birthday bash, man. It's going down soon. Thank you once again to my man Melvin Jackson Jr. for coming in and give your boy some time, man. We out of here. Have a good one. Peace.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.